Keo here from Stomv USA. Today I'm going to talk about trumpets, and the reason I'm going to talk about trumpets is because I'm a fanatic. I'm obsessed with. I love trumpets. I love studying trumpets. I love working with trumpet players. So it's a darn good thing that this is the job I have. And not surprisingly, I'm going to talk about Stomv trumpets today. And Stomv is a brand of instruments that has never tried to copy anybody else or conform necessarily to the standard. We've always had a belief that we love a traditional trumpet sound, which is big, full, resonant, has all the colors of the orchestra in it, from the lows of the basses to the highs of the violins and the piccolos. But it's also our own sound. We've never tried to copy the sound of another instrument, whether it be a Bach or a Yamaha or a Besson or anything. We've always wanted to have a traditional sound that was our own. And the way we've always done that is to design around intonation. And what I mean by that is any one of our instruments is designed to be as in tune with itself as possible, meaning the low C's in tune with the middle C, the high C, etc., and all the notes in between. And when you do that, you get a big, full, resonant sound that Mother Nature gives you all the harmonic engagement, the sympathetic vibrations. So you provide the fundamental for the most part, and Mother Nature gives you all this beautiful sound for free. I call it free gas. And Stomv has always done that. On top of that, we have a number of different models that help you find the sound that's exactly the way you like it, or the playability that you like especially. And so I'm going to show you a few examples, sort of our most popular ones. The first one I'm going to show you, is, and all B flats today, is our Titan B flat. This happens to be the 127, the number one lead pipe with our 27 bell. This is an extremely popular instrument. Again, the air column is designed to be very well in tune, but because of the materials, the actual air column itself, the flare of the bell, it has a particular sound. It's in tune, but it has a particular sound and a playability. This particular horn comes with two tuning slides, a D-type slide and a rounded slide, which have the same internal volume, so the intonation stays the same, but they do respond differently because of what are called early reflections. Remember, I'm a trumpet player first, but I have studied the math, physics, and I'll throw some of that in every once in a while because I can't help myself. Anyway, Titan 127, extremely good B-flat trumpet that is very popular in the United States. It's more of a classical trumpet than it is a commercial trumpet. However, there are many commercial players that are using this horn. And that's because any trumpet can really be used for anything if the player has the right sound concept and the right mouthpiece on it. So keep that in mind as we're going along here. Another one of our horns is our S3. This is a really bargain price instrument for what you get. Again, it has an in-tune air column, it's got an oversized bell, it's got great valves. In fact, I should mention that the other thing we do is we spend a lot of time working on our valves and designing valves that are quick, responsive, solidly built, and will last you a long time. So any instrument you get from Stomv, whether it's one of our inexpensive horns like an S1 or a Forte, or one of our more expensive horns, they're going to have great valves. All our horns are made by the same people, the same craftsmen, the same machines, and the reason that some are less expensive than others is because they're simpler design. Maybe the braces are a little bit simpler, or there's fewer braces, or they're easier to assemble because they're not a multi-bore horn or something, but they're all very well-built quality instruments. So the S3 is very, very popular amongst commercial players. Some classical players are using it as well. Really good in concert band, jazz band, high energy stuff. This is a horn that is really well suited for a lot of different things. Again, you can change the front end on the mouthpiece, and that'll help you, depending on whether you're playing in a concert band or a jazz band or a rock band or whatever, help you change the characteristics of the horn. Again, with a very well in tune but different air column than the Titan. Now here's a horn that has particular meaning to me. This is a VR2. This was the first horn that I was the main designer of, and so it's extremely easy to play. It's very well in tune. Again, it's a different air column than the others. This particular horn is a poly-bore horn, which means it has multiple bore sizes throughout the horn. And it does not start small and get bigger, 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 like what would be normally called a step bore horn. But the bore size changes. It gets bigger, it gets smaller, and this is how it gets bigger again. And this is how we tune the air column of this horn to make it play in tune. It's a very refined blow. This horn is great for just about everything. Commercial work, B-flat work in an orchestra, like a Pops concert, for example, or something like that. Rock bands, blues bands, etc. I get a lot of questions, this is my personal horn, about this thing on there. What's that for? It's not some secret tone device or anything like that. It's actually for my wireless mic. I would put the mic in there, come across there, and put it on at the time of manufacture so it looks cool and everything. And I would actually strap the transmitter on the horn itself, because any of you who've used wireless mics before, there's a wire going from the mic to the transmitter, and if that's on your belt and you set the horn down on a stand and walk away, guess what? You just dragged your horn across the stage. So I would actually Velcro the transmitter on here, and it made a really cool thing for those of you that are working with that. And these three horns that I've shown you, we have others in the line, but they give you three different but characteristic trumpet/stomby sounds with a little bit different blow feels depending on what you're looking for. We can help you dial that in. Because they're all in tune with themselves, assuming you get the right mouthpiece and the right gap and intonation is covered in another video, which we'll link to in the comments below. Once it's in tune with itself, that's what makes them so easy to play, giving you this big, full, resonant sound that, of course, is in tune. So all three of these horns I've shown you, the Titan, the S3, the VR2, are very easy to play, very well in tune, and have similar stomby sounds, but different characteristics, depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for the ultimate, though, if you're looking for the horn that's the easiest to play with the biggest sound out there, in other words, the future, you really got to look at our Titan 4-valve edition B-flat. I wish I could say that I had something to do with the design of this, but I did not. These were designed completely by my partner and visionary Vicente Honorato. We call him Big V, at the factory in Spain. And he's designed 11 different 4-valve instruments in all keys, or many keys, and you can read about them on our website. They are the future for a lot of reasons. If you think about a normal guitar has 6 strings, and there are some companies like Benedetto that make a 7-string guitar. It's got a low B on it, I believe is what it is. If you take that 7-string guitar and only play 6 of the strings, the sound that comes out of that guitar is still a lot bigger and more resonant. Why? Because that 7th string is vibrating harmonically with the rest of the instrument. You're getting more vibrations even though you're playing 6 of the strings. Or like a Bosendorfer piano that's got the extended keyboard. If you only play in the middle of the piano, the harp is still vibrating throughout the whole, the lower end and the higher end, giving you more sound for the same amount of work. The 4th valve, it's a different mechanism, but it's giving the same result. So even if you play this and never use the 4th valve, it's got this big full sound. It's much bigger than any of the other B-flats that we make, and our B-flats have big full sounds. But this is the ultimate. We were also able to do some tricky things with damping, acoustic and mechanical, and that's another video that I have called The Deal with Damping. We'll put that in the notes below as well. You can check it out. And the damping allows us to make this horn even easier to play than a Titan VR2 or an S3. So you're getting an extreme amount of sound for the same amount of work as you are on the other instruments. On top of that, you get the extended range of the 4th valve. So instead of being stuck with a basic 2-octave range, 2.5-octave range from low F sharp to high C, let's say, and obviously people can play higher, you get usable range below that that's extremely easy, down to what we used to call pedal and even double pedal C, And because of these instruments, we're calling them low notes and very low notes. And it allows you to get this full, big harmonic sound that's extremely, full of harmonic sound that's extremely easy to play. And it's why a lot of the players that are in our camp, from Javier Gonzalez, who's the trumpet player on Dancing with the Stars, to Pacho Flores, who's a world-renowned soloist, to Aaron Smith, who's one of our guys in town playing in the studios a lot, are using and starting to embrace the four-valve instruments because it's the future. And as composers write more for these instruments, and they are starting to, including some trumpet ensemble performers, you're going to find that the trumpet and the trumpet ensemble becomes more enjoyable, and we're able to push the limits. The past is great. We study the past in order to hear the future. We at Stamvi feel we need to move into the future, and to us, the future of the trumpet are the four-valve instruments. We're not going to replace the three valves completely, because we've got a lot of great ones, from the Titan to the Esri, the VR2, and a bunch of those in between. I wanted today to show you the options that we have here at Stamvi, because I'm a trumpet player first, and I'm the luckiest guy in the world, because I get exposed to all these things, and I'm like a kid in a candy shop every day, because I've got the greatest trumpets, the greatest mouthpieces, and the greatest friends around me who are all trumpet players or trumpet fanatics. So if you have any questions, comments, please add them to this. Check out the links below. Have a nice day.